you said yesterday stayed on the mug while the tea cooled down to a flat slate gray, a loose floorboard size when the balcony door lets the afternoon draft sweep across the rug. Small details gather in the quiet room, a silver paper clip bent in half, the way the ivy climbs the iron flue. We walked past the baker with flour on our sleeves and counted the pennies left loose in a glove. The calendar pages fell off without grief, leaving behind a clean pocket of love. A stray button rolls underneath the settee, and the clock in the hallway skips every third beat. Your handwriting slanted across grocery lists where oranges sat at the top of the queue. Small details gather in the quiet room, the blue-green enamel of worn kitchen tile, the shadow that lengthens by 2:15. We shared out the apples and peeled off the skin, while pigeons kept watch from the neighboring slate. The seasons turned over with very small din, and neither of us had to alter our gait. Nothing is broken or buried in dust, just resting in corners where sunlight is cast. The iron is holding a delicate rust, and time is a visitor treated at last. We watched the bright tram climb the hill through the rain, and traded our boots for the dry woolen socks. The glass pane kept rattling time and again, while minutes dissolved in the tick of the clocks. A folded receipt tucked inside a blue book, the smell of damp pavement after a shower. We didn't need pictures to capture the look. We stayed for the quiet and left with the hour. The heavy wool of that forgotten sleeve still holds the shape of an October night, before we knew how easily we'd leave, beneath the flicker of a porch light. Threads of twill recall a hurried stride, passing windows where the soup pots steam. We laughed away the rising evening tide, caught inside a drifting amber dream. A sudden gust across the asphalt lane carries the weight of laughter through the trees. Just water running down a window pane, yet every corner brings you back to me. Time does not break what it gently tucks away. A quiet corner kept for yesterday. The fabric folds back in the drawer, leaving peace upon the floor. A number on a clock ticks past 11, while tea cools down beside an open slate. We never reached the coast we talked about. We found another way to navigate. Silver hair will catch the autumn breeze when we sit together under stranger trees. Decades pass before we test this bench again. Grandchildren ask about the books we underline. We share a slice of pear and laugh at graying hair, content to know we turned out fine. A postal carrier in a jacket green drops off a box tied up with cotton string. Inside rests half an old porcelain cup, proof of the stubborn joy we used to bring. Decades pass before we test this bench again. Grandchildren ask about the books we underline. We share a slice of pear and laugh at graying hair, content to know we turned out fine. No sudden grief in meeting here today, just quiet wonder at the winding way. The afternoon descends in shades of blue. I smile across the grass and think of you. Crushed eucalyptus drifts across the lane, mixed with chimney smoke and turning leaves. She stops beside the florist window glass, feeling years unravel at her sleeves. A sudden gust of river air blows cold, yet inside her chest the day is bright and old. The season turns the stone to copper gray, carrying the hours that she gave away. They dragged a battered sofa up the stairs and painted kitchen window frames in green, counting every penny from their fares to split a single pastry in between. The city traded rooftops for the sky, and neither asked the other reasons why. She walks along the iron garden rail, remembering the way he spilled the salt. No bitterness is left upon the trail, no heavy ledger tracking who was at fault. The park bench holds a dusting of the frost, a quiet grace for all that time is crossed. It takes so little to bring it all in view, a draft of cedar and a distant chime. The world moves forward as it has to do, leaving lovely shadows on the climb. They dragged a battered sofa up the stairs and painted kitchen window frames in green, counting every penny from their fares to split a single pastry in between. The city traded rooftops for the sky, and neither asked the other reasons why. She turns the corner with a softened pace, the autumn evening settling in place. A stranger passes humming something clear, and she is glad she spent that winter here. Why does old cedar taste like copper pennies on the tongue when no one spoke in that whole summer since we were young? An iron hinge creaks softly in the hall, while peeling paint displays a shade of plum. I didn't mind losing it all. Traffic hums across the concrete bridge, groceries sit forgotten on the kitchen fridge. Dust motes perform a slow ballet in slantwise golden rays. We traded quiet promises for different calendar days. No heavy grief remains beneath this afternoon of blue. I smile because the past was wonderfully true. Paperback swell with moisture from the autumn air. A stray strand of chestnut silk still clings to the chair. Unread pages ripple as the draft sweeps through, marking places where we pause to stare at nothing in particular and new. Time doesn't break things into sharp and bitter shards. It softens edges like old playing cards, fingered until the numbers fade away into a pleasant shade of silver gray. Evening settles down without a sound, leaving quiet warmth upon the ground. The weight of the chair holds an impression of coat hooks and strain, while afternoon copper pours over the glass of the pane. You worry the corners of paper, afraid to begin, convinced that the future is locked with a pin. You save every margin for questions that time will erase, and trade all your motion to stay in a permanent place. Affection will find you when armor is finally shed, so stop keeping score with the ghosts at the foot of the bed. A jacket left damp on the radiator from the rain, an idle piano that waits for a hesitant strain. You think that the rushing will cure what is heavy and slow, forgetting that rivers are measured by how they can go. You save every margin for questions that time will erase, and trade all your motion to stay in a permanent place. Affection will find you when armor is finally shed, so stop keeping score with the ghosts at the foot of the bed. The clock on the landing is ticking at half of its speed, releasing the pressure of everything destined to bleed. Look at the hallway, the dust mote suspended in gold. You are not broken, you are simply turning bold. Close up the notebook and leave all the margins alone. The road will appear as your feet learn the weight of the stone. An amber wash spills down the brick beside the counter where you pour. The copper kettle gives a click and strikes a note we knew before. I watch you fold a paper napkin square and wonder if you notice who is standing there. Stranger behind the steaming mug, your coat has got the self-same hug that someone wore against the gale. When we were posting foolish mail across the pavement in the sleet, before we lost this quiet street. pages of a guide. It feels like such a gentle thing to sit so closely side by side. I could reach out and trace your lexicon, or simply watch the afternoon burn on. Stranger behind the steaming mug, your coat has got the self-same hug that someone wore against the gale. When we were posting foolish mail across the pavement in the sleet, before we lost this quiet street. We never had to say goodbye, we just let decades drift on by and traded names for passing views, while walking in each other's shoes. Begins to fade into the tea that you have made. I tip my hat and drift away, glad for the ghost you brought today. Copper tooth rest beside the porcelain spoon, left behind from an August afternoon. I trace the notched edge with a careful thumb before the quiet room can grow too numb. A door I rarely try to turn. A simple lesson that I didn't need to learn. We parked the wagon where the blackberries grew wild. You traded stories like an optimistic child. I kept the token when you packed the silver chest we gave that summer. It's completely earned rest. The kettle clicks off in the empty hall. Sunlight stretches long along the wallpaper wall. No letters arrive from that distant postcode now. Just this pleasant pressure pulling at my brow. It unlocks a door I rarely try to turn. A simple lesson that I didn't need to learn. We parked the wagon where the blackberries grew wild. You traded stories like an optimistic child. I kept the token when you packed the silver chest we gave that summer. It's completely earned rest. I let the picture sharpen at the kitchen edge. No bitter feelings hiding underneath the hedge. Just gratitude for how the weather used to bend before the chapter reached its natural end. The key goes back into the amber glass, watching the afternoon gently pass. Nothing stood there. A distant delivery van bumps over a loose iron plate, rattling the window pane while tea cools in the cup. He used to collect these ordinary rainy afternoons, filing them away in cardboard boxes under the bed. Sirens wail softly past the brick courtyard below, while the radiator hums a steady and low note. I found the ticket stub from the independent film, tucked inside a paperback with a cracked yellow spine. Simply folds around the corners like worn paper, leaving a quiet comfort where we used to sit. A heavy woolen coat hangs quiet by the heavy door, retaining the faint smell of roasted chestnuts and rain. You would have loved the way the evening sky turns violet, settling over chimneys like an old velvet curtain. Sirens wail softly past the brick courtyard below, while the radiator hums a steady and low. I found the ticket stub from the independent film, tucked inside a paperback with a cracked yellow spine. Time simply folds around the corners like worn paper, leaving a quiet comfort where we used to sit. We never needed grand declarations to mark the hours, just the steady ticking of a clock in the hall. I hope your garden grows well through the changing season, exactly as you planned it all those years ago. The street lights click on one by one in the mist, tracing the clean pavement where we walked apart. A gentle warmth remains in the empty room, resting like a light sweater on an autumn chair. A scent of baking peel adrift in the hall, from a kitchen 3 flights up and small. He stops where the pavement curves around and lets his heavy shopping bag touch the ground. He smiles at the steam from a copper pot, remembering days he nearly forgot. A sudden gust brings back the spring, when neither cared what tomorrow would bring. They shared a pastry on a cedar bench, while autumn winds began to tightly quench the afternoon light behind the old church woody fire. A heavy frame inside an antique shop displays a street where heavy snow would drop. Two figures walking under faded blue, one holding fast to what he thought was true. The glass is cool beneath his fingertips, with quiet gratitude upon his lips. Time rearranges every single frame and washes color from a cherished name. Yet sweetness lingers in the empty square, proving the past was always gently there. He picks up the bag and turns the corner slow, content to leave the rest of it below. A faint aroma hanging in the gray that brightened up a solitary day. A brass hotel key sits beside the salt. We kept it because neither spoke a fault. The drawer sticks twice before it slides, and time has turned its quiet tides. We mailed postcards that never quite arrived, in cardboard boxes where the postage survived. A canceled date stamp smudged in purple ink, farther apart than we paused to think. A strip of ticket stubs for a midnight train. We laughed when the roof let in the rain. The seats were green and smelled of glue. I saved the stub that belonged to you. We mailed postcards that never quite arrived, in cardboard boxes where the postage survived. A canceled date stamp smudged in purple ink, farther apart than we paused to think. I turn the brass around inside my palm. The room is bathed in cinematic calm. No need to trace the tracks we must, just feel the warmth of what we kissed. The key rests still against the grain, untroubled by the afternoon rain. away, then softly drifted on its way. Metal spokes rattle across the curb below, a bicycle chain skipping loose and slow. I heard that gravity slide against the stone, and for 3 seconds I was not alone. You were right there pedaling up the hill, before we learned that summer could stand still. The light turns soft across the windowsill, catching the dust that settles where it will. I never kept the map you tried to trace, yet every corner still recalls your face. We raced the amber signals down the avenue, leaving our shadows stretched in hazy blue, laughing until our lungs ran out of breath, counting the sidewalk cracks from east to west. Time took the handlebars and steered away, leaving the golden warmth of yesterday. I wonder if you keep that yellow coat with the folded ferry schedule in the pocket of your throat. We sat on the seawall watching barges turn, talking about the lessons we would never learn. Nobody warned us how the seasons slip, or how an old routine becomes a distant trip. The traffic pauses at the painted line. I feel the quiet comfort of that time. A stranger passes wearing faded gray, and gently sends my thinking on its way. There is no heavy ache in how we grew, just gratitude for everything we knew. Some simple chapters never really close, they linger in the air when twilight blows. We raced the amber signals down the avenue, leaving our shadows stretched in hazy blue, laughing until our lungs ran out of breath, counting the sidewalk cracks from east to west. Time took the handlebars and steered away, leaving the golden warmth of yesterday. The bell rings twice along the asphalt lane, a friendly cadence in the evening rain. Wherever you are, rolling through the park, may every lantern guide you through the dark. A thought interrupts silence, clean and steep, like a projector clicking in an empty hole. The blue vinyl seats where we used to sleep, before the map folded against the wall. A reel of Super 8 running dry, dust dancing through the projector light. We argued about which exit led to the coast, while static hummed softly from dashboard news. You pressed your cold palms to the steamed up glass, leaving 2 paper cup sits on the cedar porch, with dried clover caught in the rim of wax. The neighborhood street lamp acts like a torch, revealing old tire tracks. Time doesn't break, it just softens its edge, like moss taking over a concrete ledge. The tape clicks off inside the machine, leaving the room just as it had been. Chipped glass marble rests against the menu edge. You ask if you can borrow the wooden peppermill. I pass it over, watching how you tap the ledge, and spin the tiny sphere until the swirl sits still. You say you had one like it at a pier in Maine, back when the salt breeze carried on for miles. I tell you that I stood beneath that seaside rain, and suddenly the distance turns to easy smiles. We traded names across the counter seam, watching the harbor fog roll through the afternoon. You had your history and I held my own daydream, finding the harmony inside an older tune. Two quiet travelers, pleased by how the coffee brewed. You tell me how the pine needles would dry in heaps along the gravel driveway where the wagons parked. I tell you about the attic where my brother sleeps, and how the dockside lanterns flickered when it darked. It brings no sorrow laying out the things we knew, sharing a chapter with someone who understands. The past stays gentle when it passes between two, resting like sea glass warmly in our hands. We traded names across the counter seam, watching the harbor fog roll through the afternoon. You had your history and I held my own daydream, finding the harmony inside an older tune. Two quiet travelers, pleased by how the coffee brewed. You leave your coins and slide your jacket on. I watch you step out past the window place right where the daylight shone, catching the sweetness of the summer rain. Why does cedar smoke still curl around the rafters when nobody burns wood today? Your blue sweater folded neatly in the cedar chest. I touched the wool and felt the chill lift right away. Time is a funny thing, sliding through the cracks. A yellow ticket stub falls from a paperback novel. It takes me straight back to the platform with the peeling paint. We missed the express train and didn't mind at all. We spent our pennies on sour lemon drops by the track, laughing until our ribs ached in the autumn air. Those hours dissolved like sugar in a porcelain cup. I smile at the ghost of us sitting right there. Familiar street corner where the bakery used to stand. Vanilla and warm flour drifting down the evening breeze. I held a paper bag of pastries in my shivering hand. We shared a single scarf against the sudden freeze. Nothing was broken, nothing was left unsaid. We simply watched the season turn another page. The road went left, the map went right. We followed instead. No heavy drama on that quiet afternoon stage. I turn the corner and leave the memory behind. The sun fades slowly in the darkening gray. Warmth lingers softly in the corners of my mind. Another quiet life we lived along the way. The smell of toasted sesame arrives before the door, turning every corner into 1994. Someone drops a suitcase down a flight of painted stairs. I am sitting quietly among the folding chairs. A sudden flash of teal against the autumn gray. Before I blink, the picture starts to slip away. Streets we walk together keep their own quiet pace. Every block remembers how we lost our place. Time moves like an engine down a different line, leaving golden dust upon the winter pine. nothing begs to stay. It only stops to visit on a random Tuesday. The sesame fades slowly in the darkening room, leaving just the quiet and the quiet broom. Some pale illumination coats the ferry bench, where afternoon dissolves in tidal mist. The stranger sitting 2 coats down from mine adjusts his wool scarf at the wrist. He nods toward the harbor and remarks how quick the water turns from slate to blue. His voice is soft and casual and clear, and suddenly I am back in '92. I tell him that the bay was always cold, even when we swam past August dusk. He chuckles at the story being told, peeling an orange down to bitter musk. Some years are tucked inside a sudden tone of voice, held safe between 2 people sharing harbor air. I never planned to think about that summer coast today, yet standing on the deck I watch the ripples part away, and tell a friendly soul the road was never long, content to leave the past where it belongs. He says he drove out west some 20 winters back, and lost a silver lighter in the sand. I laugh because we searched for one the same, 2 sunburned kids across the dune grassland. No heavy grief or longing in the sound, just quiet pleasure passing down the line. A little history spoken out aloud before the engines cross the boundary line. The fog begins to drift toward the quay. The gulls dip down beneath the lower rail. He offers half a citrus slice to me as wind fills up a distant canvas sail. Some years are tucked inside a sudden tone of voice, held safe between 2 people sharing harbor air. I never planned to think about that summer coast today, yet standing on the deck I watch the ripples part away, and tell a friendly soul the road was never long, content to leave the past where it belongs. We do not trade our names or where we are going next. We watch the docking ropes land on the wooden pier. It feels so good to speak of who we used to be, without the slightest wish to hold that former year. The zinc light shifts to amber at the gate. He tips his cap and blends into the crowd. A stranger gave me back an afternoon, and let me say that summer name aloud. You said yesterday the ceiling needed paint. I found a dry blue brush behind the door. 3 loose buttons scattered on the floor. A copper kettle humming faint. The corner grocery changed its canvas shade. A box of dried verbena by the glass. Small details floating as the minutes pass. A ledger ledgering the things we made. A spool of yellow thread beside the sink reminds me how you measured twice for blue. The porch light flickers with a steady blink, and I'm smiling thinking back to you. A stray paperback left open at page 10. A train ticket dated back to May. The way the tea towel hangs upon the tray. Small notes you left us with a fountain pen. Time rolls onward down the quiet street, leaving traces where our steps would meet. 3 loose buttons on the shelf. I keep them just to talk myself. The brushed wool of your cardigan still rests against the back seat where the sunlight presses. A sudden turn of tires on gravel dust unlocks a quiet afternoon we trusted. Minutes fold backward like paper planes landing softly and perfectly where we were standing. Silver light catches the rear view mirror, bringing the summer we wanted much nearer. Green clover fields rushing past in a blur. Nothing to fix and no need to defer. We shared an orange on the ferry railing, while salt spray stung our cheeks without prevailing against the warmth of laughter in the air. Before the world demanded we prepare. Minutes fold backward like paper planes landing softly and perfectly where we were standing. Silver light catches the rear view mirror, bringing the summer we wanted much nearer. Green clover fields rushing past in a blur. Nothing to fix and softly sweet it used to feel. Passing the exit with a quiet smile, staying inside that memory a while. The engine hums a fading melody, returning all the miles we used to see. Into the dashboard glass of yesterday, as distance softly carries us away. A number on a clock glows blue at 3. Will satellites chart out what we will be? In 30 winters when our hair turns white, we plan to sit beneath the station light and laugh about the storms we never saw, and how we let the quiet form the law. The future holds a cup we haven't poured, a kitchen table waiting brought and stored. Old papers pile up neatly by the door. We measured out contentment on the floor. No ghost remain to haunt the cedar beam. We live inside the edges of a dream that took its time arriving at our sea. And some tomorrow built of glass and pine, your hand will reach across the pantry line to find the copper kettle we discussed long after youth has settled into dust. We will not rush to finish what we say, because we finally have a boundless day. Old papers pile up neatly by the door. We measured out contentment on the floor. No ghosts remain to haunt the cedar beam. We live inside the edges of a dream that took its time arriving at our sea. And looking backward from that distant hill, the rushing world will finally stand still. We trace the years like pages in a book, and wonder at the steady path we took. The clock will glow until the morning clears, and we will thank the passage of the years. copper button waits upon the oak beside a receipt for tea. We laughed until our ribs were sore, unbothered by the heavy sea. The kettle whispers on the iron ring, a casual detail time forgot. Streets are gleaming under silver dew. Quiet evenings we already knew. Nothing vanished, everything stayed sweet. Walking softly down a different street. A paper corner folds itself in half inside a drawer of chestnut wood. We measured out our lives in books and spent our hours just like we should. I turn the handle just to feel the brass and watch the shadows lengthen on the glass. Streets are gleaming under silver dew. Quiet evenings we already knew. Nothing vanished, everything stayed sweet. Walking softly down a different street. The copper button rests in place, a friendly trace of yesterday. A muffled horn sounds from the corner store below, while copper tea kettles begin to hiss and blow. I watch the steam trace patterns on the double pane and wonder how your kitchen managed all that rain. Some afternoons arrive without a single word, just ordinary truths that we once overheard. We measured time in loose change left upon the tile and traded quiet secrets for a crooked smile. You kept the kettle humming while the daylight burned. I still admire the chapters that we slowly turned. A stack of postcards sits beside the telephone, written in ink we borrowed when we weren't alone. The papers yellowed softly at the ragged edge. Remember leaning aside without a single word, just ordinary truths that we once overheard. We measured time in loose change left upon the tile and traded quiet secrets for a crooked smile. You kept the kettle humming while the daylight burned. I still admire the chapters that we slowly turned. No heavy anchors pulling at the waterline, just gratitude for seasons that were yours and mine. A peaceful kind of distance settling in the room, a gentle light arriving just to chase the gloom. We measured time in loose change left upon the tile and traded quiet secrets for a crooked smile. You kept the kettle humming while the daylight burned. I still admire the chapters that we slowly turned. A muffled horn sounds from the corner store below. I let the memory settle and I let it go. Ground clothes drifting past the bakery screen catch her right before the crossing light. Suddenly she is 19 at the counter stool, watching flowers settle in the gentle light. Someone passed a chipped ceramic mug, spilling half the foam across the grain. She adjusts the woolen strap across her coat, smiling at the sudden pleasant sting. Years have made the edges softer now, leaving only quiet, lovely things. Two strangers divided a blueberry tart, counted out nickels to settle the tab, laughed when the rain made a river outside, hailing the yellow and battered old cab. Nobody promised that season would stay. Still it was sweet how they gave it away. She walks along the row of brick facades, finding where the florist used to be. Hydrangeas replaced by a bookstore pane, reflecting back the yellow maple tree. He was always pointing out the clouds, naming every shape before it broke. Now the crosswalk counts its seconds down. People rush with parcels in their hands. She is glad for every minute spent, even paths that shifted in the sand. Two strangers divided a blueberry tart, counted out nickels to settle the tab, laughed when the rain made a river outside, hailing the yellow and battered old cab. Nobody promised that season would stay. Still it was sweet how they gave it away. There is no ghost along the street today, just an old warmth resting lets the memory breathe, thankful for the afternoon they shared. Ground close in the autumn breeze, the crossing signal turns to white. She steps into the afternoon, carrying the light. A thought cuts through the quiet room like a knife of gold. A page turns softly in a book that grew too old. An index card pressed flat against the spine reveals an ink you used to draw a single line. Silver dust upon the ledge, tracing light along the edge. An autumn train begins to slow across the bridge, while copper oak leaves gather on the kitchen fridge. We drank our cider from the jar before the frost and found a grace in every single minute lost. Dust motes drift across the boards in slowest state. A copper kettle steam begins to dissipate. We never guessed the future would be quite so still. A painted pasture resting underneath the hill. Time does not shatter when it starts to bend. It simply folds the middle to a gentle end. The paper closes with a quiet, settling sigh as evening clouds paint indigo across the sky. Who keeps the score when the tempo slows down? A loose floorboard creaks as the street lamp goes brown. Ink on a receipt from a diner in June, spun like a coin in an empty old room. Fingers trace dust on the edge of a shelf, catching a smile meant for nobody else. Linen curtains filter amber through the pane. Quiet moments gather like a gentle stain. Time rolled forward softly while we looked away, leaving sweet permission in the light of day. A box of postcards tied with faded green twine, untouched for ages in the back of the line. Someone left a sweater draped across a chair, and clover honey smells hang soft steps above on the second floor stair, familiar rhythm caught unawares. Linen curtains filter amber through the pane. Quiet moments gather like a gentle stain. Time rolled forward softly while we looked away, leaving sweet permission in the light of day. Nothing is broken, nothing is lost, just counting up the beauty and the cost. A silver spoon resting inside a blue bowl. Warm realization washing over the soul. Close the cover gently on the paper page. Actors stepping softly off an autumn stage. Footsteps fading down the hall. The weight of the chair leaves round dents in the rug, where you stayed up calculating what it would take to fill every corner and quiet the ache. You studied the ceiling, you pulled at your sleeve, already preparing yourself just to leave. Put down the pen on the drafting table. The weather gets warmer than you could predict. You thought every promise was bound to restrict, but breathing gets easy when time makes you able. You worry the windows will crack in the frost, while counting the pennies and minutes you lost. Yet 20 years forward, the lilac still grows. The river runs wider than anyone knows, and all of that panic turns soft as the snow. You wore out the cassette till the ribbon was frayed, convinced that the best of your choices were made. I know how you paced by the telephone wire, afraid to admit what you really desire. It turns out the quiet was not such a cage. We lived through the chapters you skipped on the page. You worry the windows will crack in the frost, while counting the pennies and minutes you lost. Yet 20 years forward, the lilac still grows. The river runs wider than anyone knows, and all of that panic turns soft as the snow. The city you dreamed of is smaller by half, and when you get lost there, you actually laugh. You don't need an armor to carry the a picnic inside the small park. Set down the burden you carried all night. The floorboards will hold you. The lamps are all bright. You made it across without breaking your stride. There is so much sweetness waiting outside. That slant of butter yellow illumination hits your cup and makes me think of someone who used to take it slow. Before the platform cleared and the cars began to back up, you're reading through a menu I read 9 years ago. I never caught your name past the rattle of the tray. We are just two strangers in the middle of delay. Your coat is thrown across the booth just like he used to throw his down. The waiter brings a napkin with a crooked paper fold. I am smiling at a ghost inside a crowded little town while you stir your porcelain and keep out of the cold. You drop a sugar cube and it shatters on the floor with that exact quick gesture I could trace behind closed eyes. I used to sweep up pieces by a different kitchen door underneath a completely different set of gray spring skies. I won't tell you the story of how much you look the same. It is better left unspoken. It is safer without name. Your coat is thrown across the booth just like he used to throw his down. The waiter brings a napkin with a crooked paper fold. I am smiling at a ghost inside a crowded little town while you stir your porcelain and keep out of the cold. Time does not erase a thing, it only shifts the frame and grants us quiet license to be fond of who we were. The afternoon keeps ticking, neither of us is to blame as the traffic gathers forward and the shadows blur. Drink your tea, leave the check. I am glad you stopped right here before the evening takes the light and makes the season clear. You said yesterday the kitchen clock was fast by 3 whole minutes, which we laughed about. A strip of tickets stuck beneath the glass, a tin of peppermints that time ran out. A blue enamel kettle starts to hum, a box of porcelain a postcard with a stamp from Kingdom Come, a sweater folded neat, a sleeve of ice, small pieces left behind like breadcrumb trails, soft quiet markers where the anchor fails, an extra spoon beside the porcelain cup, a folded napkin waiting to be picked, the heavy kettle lid that rattles up, the living room clock that softly ticked, a dried hydrangea hung above the door, a pencil mark that measured growing height, a wooden spool rolled out across the floor, a copper kettle catching autumn light, no heavy sorrow living in the frame, just small geometry we used to name, the way the shadows lengthen down the hall, we left the light on softly for us all, a quiet ledger kept of trivial things, a gentle current where the river swings. The heavy weave of that old tartan plaid sits on my knee while the kettle begins to hum a low note in the quiet room where nothing is heavy and nothing is sad. A sudden shift in the pressure outside conjures the kitchen from 20 years back, your hands dusting flour across the white pine, while daylight turned butterscotch over the track. We measured the afternoon out in black tea and argued which painter deserved the third wall, while dust motes were dancing in strips of pure gold. I hold on to moments that never grow old. A page turns itself in a book on the shelf, and suddenly clear is the sound of your laugh, a bell ringing softly somewhere down the hall, though neither of us is here to answer it now. Time doesn't break things, it just sands them down until they fit smoothly right into the palm, like smooth beach glass tumbled by 30-foot tides, leaving behind a miraculous calm. The kettle falls silent, the plaid stays warm. I fold it away and I turn off the light, grateful for guests who arrive unannounced and stay for the space of a wonderful night. The number on a clock shifts from 9 to 10, and 40 winters melt into a single breath. We're We're sitting by a river we have never seen, trading stories of the lives we might have led. Your silver hair catches the amber lounge light. We laugh about how fast the decades took flight. We ordered vintage wine to test if time still burns. No regrets remain as every distant season turns. Silver threads replace the youth we spent apart, still holding every promise deep inside the heart. Two teacups steam upon the polished cedar tray, and neither of us minds the gray hair on display. We spent a lifetime wandering separate paths of stone, until this quiet evening brought us safely home. The grandchildren we talk about are grown and free. We share a gentle smile across the balcony. A number on a clock moves softly on. We earned this peaceful grace now that the storm is gone. The smooth brass button sits against the grain of pine beside a saucer where the cider rings remain. You love to collect the weights of passing time. Before we knew how easily a room could change, the afternoon descends in shades of violet gray. I turn the copper around and let the moment stay. We spent an autumn afternoon debating floors while leaves piled high against the garden doors. I still can taste the cinnamon we bought that day, and wonder where the whistling kettle ran away. A paper calendar from 1994 still hangs crookedly beside the pantry shelf. Nobody crosses through those dates anymore. The kitchen keeps its secrets neatly to itself. The neighborhood grows quiet as the headlights fade. I trace the pencil marks of every plan we made. We spent an autumn afternoon debating floors while leaves piled high against the garden doors. I still can taste the cinnamon we bought that day, and wonder where the whistling kettle ran away. Time does not shatter when it falls, it simply softens on the walls. A gentle weight I pull inside, where all the quiet histories hide. The copper pot delivery bicycle leans against the brick while tires hiss on asphalt turning slick. I found a paper napkin where you wrote a recipe for bread we never baked. You traded city fog for mountain pine while I still keep our favorite dinner wine. We traded small routines for separate skies, and time was gentle closing up our eyes. A neon sign flickers on the avenue, and every shade of cobalt looks like you. We used to count the tiles on the floor before we learned what distance was for. No sudden grief in letting go the thread, just quiet gratitude for things we said. The bicycles roll past, the evening holds us fast. The scent of cardamom drifts from the lining of a wool jacket hung behind the door. He finds a ticket stub from June of 1990, creased at the corner on the hardwood floor. He traces silver rivers on the window glass while autumn weather turns the leaves to brass. A quiet afternoon of gentle grace, without a single wish to change the pace. A heavy textbook rests upon the table, marked with a sentence written in the margin. He smiles to read the ink that faded slightly before the modern world began to sharpen. Time leaves its footprints softly in the dust, like copper turning slowly into rust. No need to dial numbers from the past, just glad to know the sweetness lingered last. He hangs the jacket back upon the wood and leaves the quiet room right where it stood. A stray thought breaks the quiet room, a sudden drift of orange bloom. A calendar turned 3 pages back beside the worn enamel rack. You pointed at a falling crane across the glass of crowded train. We laughed until the windows steamed and lived the life we only dreamed. The ticket booth was painted green, the sharpest light I'd ever seen. We shared a single paper cup before the world had lifted up. The heavy coat upon the chair reminds me of your winter hair. The parking meter ticks its time in slow and solitary rhyme. A passing car throws sodium glow across the pavement, wet and slow. Time rolled onward down the street. We found our separate steady beat. No anger lived within our space, just gentle motion taking place. The embers fade inside the grate. The evening air is calm and late. I fold the memory in my hand and leave it where the shadows land. Who left the back gate unlatched in the breeze while the radio murmured a brass band tune, and the tea grew dark in the heavy cups, and the afternoon tilted toward the moon. A sudden slip of autumn air brought back the cardigan you'd wear. Silver spoons clinked against the porcelain rim, while the holy light grew wonderfully dim. You traced a circle on the dusty pane and promised nothing would stay the same. A box of slides under the wooden bed projected blue skies on the kitchen wall. We argued softly about what was said before the yellow leaves began to fall. Silver spoons clinked against the porcelain rim, while the hallway light grew wonderfully dim. You traced a circle on the dusty pane and promised nothing would stay the same. Time does not break, it simply folds like linen kept in cedar holds. The room keeps quiet as the shadows drift, accepting every unrequested gift. The scent of cedar mulch dissolves in autumn mist and pulls me right back to the porch we painted green. A moment drifting past before I can resist. The clearest summer I have ever seen. And all the dress returns without a warning bell to show me every garden path we used to tend. We laughed away the hours by the wishing well, not knowing how a quiet floor, where we stacked books by height and argued through the night. I traced the phantom handle of a different door and hold the memory before it takes flight. Time rearranges every room we lived inside, yet leaves a trace of warmth behind. A gentle undertow where quiet feelings hide. Scent of cedar mulch fades slowly in the air. I close the book and leave the window wide. The afternoon remains suspended there. A slant of dusty peach falls across your sleeve while you wait for a late train that will not arrive. I notice how you fold your ticket twice and trace the grease spot near your cuff. We are strangers who share a single bench in a city where nobody looks up. You turn and ask me if the line is slow. I say it always is when the weather turns. An old acquaintance used to stand like that, with shoulders rounded against a coastal gale. He wore a heavy wool pullover twice his span, and laughed whenever the engine jumped the rail. You have this habit of blinking twice at the light and waiting for a green that takes all night. Your thermos cap clicks twice on the concrete floor. A smell of chicory and stale carnations drifts. It is the exact scent of a kitchen door left open while the autumn weather shifts. I do not tell you that you share his hands, or how a ghost invades the station stands. You offer half a pastry wrapped in wax. I shake my head and smile at your surprise. A former summer lingers in your tie, a shade of indigo he wore to every dock. You check the pocket watch you keep inside, and one spring against the station clock. It is a kindness that you do not know, how easily you make the decades go. Time is a passenger shifting bags in the aisle. We trade small coin for a moment of grace before the signal changes and you step away, leaving a shadow on your quiet face. The local train arrives with grinding brakes. You stand and pull your collar to your chin. I watch you board and take the empty seat where he once sat, and let the wind come in. said yesterday the kitchen drain was humming a distinct B flat, and you pointed at the spider web that trapped a tiny paper tag. We watched the kettle steam and turn to lace against the frosted pane. Small details keep floating back without the weight of any heavy rain. A box of matches struck the counter with a quick and sudden spark. A stray blue thread was tangled tightly in the teeth of the brass comb. 3 paper clips were scattered on the linoleum by the floor. These little living pieces of the life we carved inside that home. Silver forks tucked neatly in the wooden drawer. Green tea bags drying on a saucer by the stove. Your favorite sweater folded on the kitchen chair. We left the map inside the pocket we forgot to share. A dried up violet pressed between the pages of a railway guide. The scratchy vinyl spinning on the turntable at 40 speed. A calendar from March flipped backward to a Tuesday in July. A quiet collection of the things we never really had to plead. Silver forks tucked neatly in the wooden drawer. Green tea bags drying on a saucer by the stove. Your favorite sweater folded on the kitchen chair. We left the map inside the pocket we forgot to share. A postage stamp licked upon the corner of the teak wood desk. The way the shadow fell across the sugar bowl at 4:30. Nothing was broken, nothing was stolen by the changing tide. Just tiny tokens scattered softly on the wooden floor. The second hand is ticking slowly past the quarter mark. A quiet room where daylight settles gently in the afternoon. We kept the list of trivia inside our open palms and drifted off to slumber underneath a silver moon. The flannel grain against my palm reminds me how the afternoon could drift without a plan or purpose. We watch the clouds divide, a sudden gust across the pane, pulled back the curtain just enough to let the summer in. We shared a single blanket on the grass before the evening breeze began to pass, and laughed until our ribs began to ache, with nothing in the world left to mistake. Paper cups upon the dash, collected dust beside the empty road where we pulled over to watch the river catch the flame. A shift of gears, a quiet hum. The radio began to fade into the amber dark. We shared a single blanket on the grass before the evening breeze began to pass, and laughed until our ribs began to ache, with nothing in the world left to mistake. Time does not take away the color of those fading afternoons. It only folds them softly into something we can keep. The fabric holds the shape of every hour we spend, just sitting still, waiting for the stars. A number on a clock turns slow, while copper kettles learn to glow. We sit beside the lattice pane and watch the future fall like rain. Someday we will pull this chair up to a fire we built from air. When grandchildren ask how the century flew, we will smile at the plates we bake through, passing the gravy with steady old hands, living the legend that time understands. The calendar on the cedar wall has not recorded spring or fall, yet every holiday we keep is waiting softly while we sleep. Someday we will tell the tale of how we caught this quiet gale. When grandchildren ask how the century flew, we will smile at the plates we bake through, passing the gravy with steady old hands, living the legend that time understands. The grandchildren grow taller than the door, walking on the same worn kitchen floor. They carry silver spoons we never bought into the life we barely caught. A number on a clock keeps time, like an unwritten nursery rhyme. We hold the teacup near the light and turn the pages of the night. Painted tin rest near my cup, where afternoon leans slightly down. I turn the lid and watch it catch the sliding shadow of the town. It holds a button from a sleeve, a ticket stub from late July, and nothing more that needs repair as hours wander by. We spent an August learning how to laugh without the safety net of any plan, trading quarters for a photograph. Inside the diner by the river span, time folded neatly like a worn-out map and left us smiling in the kitchen lap. Tea is cool beside my hand, the floorboards settle in their frame. I trace the surface of the lid and softly think about your name, not with a heavy pull of grief, just wondering where the current leads and how a simple metal box suffices for our needs. We spent an August learning how to laugh without the safety net of any plan, trading quarters for a photograph. Inside the diner by the river span, time folded neatly like a worn-out map and left us smiling in the kitchen lap. Some chapters close without a sound of tearing, leaving a quiet room where peace is wearing a familiar coat it doesn't quite outgrow, a gentle rhythm that we learn to know. Painted tin goes back to rest upon the corner of the wood. I let the memories settle deep, acknowledging it was good. The light shifts longer on the floor, and I don't need to ask for more. A tram bell rings against the cobblestones while autumn peels the paint from window frames. I found that foreign film we used to watch and paused to wonder if you kept our names. Time behaves like water in a sieve. We drink the drop and let the vessel slip. You kept the map tucked safely in a book, while I preferred to lose the charted way. We shared a plate of plums upon the roof and laughed until the evening turned to gray. I smile to think of how we spent those years without a single destination near. A heavy woolen coat across the chair reminds me how the winter used to bite. We walked for miles to find a working phone and argued softly in the sodium light. Nothing broke between the lines we drew. We simply let the ink dry in the sun. I hope your garden yields a sweeter crop than any single season had begun. The tracks are quiet down the boulevard. I turn the page and let the memory rest. The scent of toasted oats and melted butter floats through the narrow gap between the doors. He stops before he takes another step and lets the sudden warmth unlock the floors of years that settled quietly in dust. A kitchen window open to the rest. He recognizes flour on the shelf before he turns to look behind himself. A calendar from 1998 still hanging slightly crooked by the gate. While autumn leaves blow softly down the street and time slows down to let the memories meet. Heavy woolen blanket on the chair reminds him of the way she wore her hair in simple braids that brushed against her spine while pouring amber drops of elder wine into two glasses chipped around the rim that neither one remembers buying him. He recognizes flour on the shelf before he turns to look behind himself. A calendar from 1998 still hanging slightly crooked by the gate. While autumn leaves blow softly down the street and time slows down to let the memories meet. Words are needed for the things they lost. They never calculated what it cost to simply wave goodbye and let it be. As quiet as the rolling autumn sea. The breeze dies down and takes the scent away, leaving the clean remainder of the day. A grateful smile for what they used to share. before he turns and walks away from there. A sudden notion cuts the heavy hush. A film projector spinning in the dark. We traded coats outside the cinema and watched the autumn sparks. The ticket stub still curls beside the phone. Quiet proof of where we used to roam. An orange sodium light against the wet concrete. We shared a paper cone of fries across the empty street. You laughed until your breath was visible like smoke before the heavy winter silence spoke. A heavy bass line hums through plaster walls. An upstairs neighbor drops a wooden toy. I trace the phantom lines of parking lots we painted with our joy. Time doesn't break when it moves along. It settles down like dust upon a song. Screen goes black, the theater doors unlatch. A quiet film without a second match. Why did we keep the broken tumbler in the back row? Dust gathers softly where the amber glass used to shine. Your laughter still hangs in the doorway like a coat left behind. And the kettle hums a tune we used to know by heart. A sudden drop of rain strikes the iron sill, bringing back the afternoon. We stood completely still. Silver water ripples down the window pane, tracing lines of a story we refuse to name. Quiet pages turn beneath a lamp of brass, watching seasons change as gentle minutes pass. A heavy sweater hangs upon the wooden peg, smelling faint leaving quiet footprints in the falling leaves. Nothing is lost that lives within the quiet air. Every vanished smile finds a place to rest. The street lights flicker on across the darkening square, and the evening holds us both in its quiet chest. The smell of turpentine hangs in the hallway air, beside the staircase where the banister is worn. I trace the phantom lines of something half forgotten there. A simple Tuesday afternoon before the heat was born. The window frames a patch of overgrown sweet pea, that vine we planted back when we were 21. It climbs the rusted wire as wild and green as it used to be, a silent signal looping underneath the summer sun. A sudden flood of copper light illuminates the floor. We traded quiet promises behind an open door. The past is never heavy when it settles in the mind. It leaves a pleasant trace of every single hour left behind. And time keeps moving forward like a river running deep. It takes the daily clutter, but it leaves the gold to keep. The smell of turpentine dissolves into the breeze. I smile and let it vanish through the apple trees. The color of the light on the bus stop bench turns the autumn brick to a toasted peach. We are sharing the shelter from the sudden fall of a heavy afternoon cloud. You turn your collar up against the chill and smile at the puddle near your boot. I ask if you are waiting for the crosstown line or just watching the traffic blur. You say you had a flat tire 2 miles back beside a bakery that smelled like brown sugar. And I remember someone who loved that exact taste years before this street ever knew our faces. It is strange how a stranger can hold the space where an old familiar story used to live, without any weight or any sudden ache, just a quiet moment passing by. The bus arrives with a hiss of brakes. You step inside and wave goodbye. I stay behind with the peach-toned light, glad the world still spins this way. You said yesterday the bread was warm, cut thick with butter on the yellow plate. A small detail caught an amber afternoon, while traffic hummed beyond the garden gate. A blue wool scarf tossed carelessly across a chair, the way you always turn to check the weather first. Two mismatched buttons on a winter coat, a sudden quiet when the paper boy dispersed. Silver pennies glinting underneath the china tray. We traded quiet laughter while the kettle started whistling its tune. An open window letting in the scent of newly mown grass. We counted every passing cloud beneath the lazy Tuesday moon. A stray paperback left open at page 42. The ink smudged margin where you wrote a grocery list, a ticket stub from some forgotten afternoon, a list of small observations that we gently missed. Time rolls onward like a river, finding stones, leaving treasures tucked inside the corners of the mind. No sorrow in the footsteps that we left behind, just holding up the lamp to let the warmth remind. A final glance across the empty kitchen floor, the quiet satisfaction of a door that softly closes, a simple tally kept of days that came and went, and all the lovely little things that time deposits. The rough herringbone caught my thumb. Just for a second the clock stood dumb. A Tuesday errand in pouring rain, and I am right back on that train, passing fields of clover growing wild. We laughed about a clumsy child, and no blue thread is hooked in metal teeth, while passengers are reading underneath. The window pane is blurring out the town. You turned your collar up against the cold, and I had never felt so safe and and hold. The tunnel darkens, then turns bright, spilling out that sharp September light. A paper ticket torn in half. I almost hear your sudden laugh. Time rolls forward like a spinning wheel, leaving behind the way we used to feel. It does not hurt to visit there, just a momentary stir within the air. The zipper opens smoothly now. I catch my breath and wonder how a tiny fiber pulls the heart straight back to where we had to start. Glowing dial marks 5:04, and decades blur like falling leaves. I see us gray hair, wise and alive, watching the rain against the eaves. We trade old maps for quiet tea, while afternoons slide down the wall, content to let the past go free, without a single tear to fall. Your silver spectacles catch the light. We laugh at things we used to chase. The universe narrowed to this bright and warmly unpretentious place. Time took its toll on every street, but left this kindness in our hands, where quiet gratitude can meet the slow grace of shifting sands. The steam climbs up toward the beam. We fold our hands and simply smile at how we lived inside a dream and stayed together